So when I've been asked to speak here, I started to think about what are the major characteristics of an entrepreneur. And you will find a million attributes out there that are really positive. So entrepreneurs are the foundation for economic growth, for economic development, because they create jobs. They also disperse wealth if everything goes well. And they encourage regional development. So entrepreneurs should be in the focus of every single player in the education sector. However, we don't seem to really help. Half of the time, most entrepreneurs are taking the risk on their own. The numbers of entrepreneurs and bright minds that have failed over the last 10 years is outrageous. And they haven't failed because of a lack of funds. They haven't failed because of a lack of technology. It's out there. We have NGOs helping. We have universities helping. We have private companies helping. But are we teaching the right thing? Now, I have to say, I'm a millennial, apparently. I was told I am. And when I went to school, I learned everything important. Math, spelling. I took notes, pages of pages, paper-based notes. The shocking thing, when I now speak to my friends in Germany, their kids do exactly the same. It's the same. They go to a classroom, they open their books, they open their notebooks, not the electronic ones, and they start taking down notes. And the curriculum hasn't changed either. Now, if we want to foster an entrepreneur mindset, the start is to think about what we have to teach and how we can then help those entrepreneurs to actually become successful. Because everything goes down to our, what I call, virtuous cycle. It's not just about math. It's not just about the right spelling. It is about life skills. It is about not giving up when it gets tricky. It is about soft skills. If you want to have a grant from a bank, you better be a good presenter. It's not being taught in most of the schools that I've been talking to over the past 10 years. Business ethics, it's a major in university, but shouldn't it start right from the beginning, where we actually lay the foundation for real values? Problem solving. SAP has an entire department across the world that just deals with how to solve problems. And we are teaching students new ways and give them the tools to think about tomorrow's challenges and not to be afraid of them, but to look forward to solve them. Management skills. Who has been in school and has been taught a proper financial backbone? Only when you study economics. But most entrepreneurs don't make it there. Because the entrepreneurial mindset is in a lot of people that are just not enrolled in universities. Because they don't have the access to the education that they need. So as long as it is not affordable for them to go to a university that provides all of those blue skills, he will likely be just employed, if ever, right? As long as it is better for him to work on a rice field to cater for his family, why would he be an entrepreneur? You know why I'm not an entrepreneur? Because I had to take on 5 jobs to pay for my university, and I'm from Germany. But the public education system in Germany was back then so bad that I decided to go for a better university, which effectively costs money. So I am in debt. So I need to pay my bills. So I can't be an entrepreneur because I can't take the financial risk. I have parents that I have to cater for. So our creative minds are being constrained by the fact that they, A, do not receive the right education with affordable methods. Public schools are not teaching what they need. And the cool schools are for the privileged. In Myanmar, all of the entrepreneurs that I have met that have become rich were already privileged. All of the creative minds that I've talked to, they worked on rice fields, and they didn't see a way out. Now, from SAP's perspective, we have three major players that build the foundation for a good education, which eventually leads to prosperity. We believe it is the government's task to create a curriculum that will be able to enable and empower students of tomorrow and today. We are now teaching the future, and the future is still using paper. The future is still following a 100-year-old curriculum. The academia, and I'm actually glad to see thought leaders. I wish I had you back then in our university that are implementing new programs in universities. And I believe with thought leaders like Professor Palmer, we are on a good way, but it's still too few. And we have the industry, that is us. We want to hire creative minds. It's not just entrepreneurs. We are fostering a culture of entrepreneurs within our corporation. I am one. Finally, I got to do what I wanted to do best. I'm allowed to do everything in public services that I wanted because my boss said, "You're a millennial, I have no idea what you're doing, but you seem to do it right." So that is great. I think what is important, and I just wanted to show you that because I just got this picture this morning. So you see a big difference in our classrooms? Not so much, right? The black and white is 100 years ago. The color one is from last year. Just saying, still the same. Now, corporations like SAP, we tend to have more money than NGOs, and it would be easy to just give money to the NGOs and donate. But that's not enough. So we believe that taking on responsibility and actually engage with the higher education and research sector and the government in collaboration will make the difference eventually. So we believe that the programs that we have implemented so far are just the first step. We are participating in competitions done by governments, for example, Singapore, for example, Indonesia. We are opening incubation centers in 2 different countries over the course of this year. We are helping, through social sabbaticals, social entrepreneurs to actually make a difference. In the Philippines, we have a social entrepreneur that helped to build shoes. And those shoes would come at a price, a pair of shoes would come at a price of 2. And they would take half of it and they would invest it into education to the social entrepreneurs in terms of law, because if you're an entrepreneur, you are not a lawyer and you don't have the money for a lawyer. So we spend half of the price that we paid to educate those women that were building the shoes. There are hubbies, please check them out. They're, by the way, very comfortable. We also engage with universities. We have a program where we help students to understand SAP technology. It's not about knowing everything about SAP, but it's about knowing what technology can be used, what is out there. I'm shocked to see that every 6-year-old kid is using a smartphone, but every student from a university looks at me when I'm talking about databases. We need to enable people in technology. We need to teach them technology. And it does not matter if it is an American company or if it is a German company like SAP. We need to collaborate. Because every student that comes out of a university and can say, I have done an SAP course, will increase immediately their salary and their employability rate. So it's something that we have to work together on. In general, I can say SAP's culture when it comes to supporting entrepreneurs and opening up to the social entrepreneur world, we're not just giving technology, we're not just giving knowledge, we have foundational values that we drive within our corporation. We embrace creativity, and I hope that this can happen in universities too. Don't shut it down. If someone has a great idea, just let them do it. I was always shut down in university. I don't know, oh, this is not part of the curriculum, why would you talk about it? That's not the way to foster creativity. Think about if one size fits all, or if we should tailor down some of the parts of the curriculum. Not doubting that math is an important skill, but creativity is not one size fits all. Allow mistakes. Stop teaching your students to be perfect. Teach them to be brave. Teach them to make mistakes and get up again and try again. That is the right way to foster innovation. Encourage questions. Don't feel threatened when a student sits there and is challenging you. That means that's a smart guy. Help them to be brave and bold and ask the right questions, instead of just swallowing the classroom training, going home, and not actually having had an own thought in their head. We foster curiosity, and we celebrate diversity. And Southeast Asia is one of the most diverse areas where we could live in. But we should still not just focus opportunity-driven, university by university. We should have a programmatic approach. We should use conventions like that to share knowledge and to try to improve people's lives across Southeast Asia and eventually globally. Thank you very much.